Hey there, Chad here for the AI Content Dojo. In this video, I want to kind of play with a couple of tools here, Frase and also Shortly. Shortly's all zoomed in. Essentially what I want to do also is Frase release templates. You know, I've read about it. I didn't watch their Loom video about it yet, but I just want to play with them and just do it on my own without sort of seeing what they expect from these templates first. Just kind of look at it with fresh eyes. If you've already been playing with them, you know, you probably already know what to expect, but I don't know what to expect yet. So I'm going to check these things out for the first time. And so I'm just going to wing this real quick video. It might end up being a little bit longer, I guess, a little bit more in depth than I normally go. But what I'm going to try and do is just kind of whip up an article using both of these tools, kind of why I think that Shortly and Frase are a really awesome combination. And check out the templates and Frase. So let's see what we got here. First, we need to start a document. I'm just going to pick something like how to pick the perfect computer. Yeah, we'll just do it. Let's leave it at that. How to pick the perfect computer. How to pick the perfect computer. Oh well, we'll just leave it at that. Create document. All right, Frase, I got it. Okay. Okay, so Frase, while it's doing its thing to do the research for me here, let me just copy this out. Go over to Shortly here. Get the title in here, and we're gonna get an article brief from Shortly. So we're gonna say. Write an article brief. Man, I need to learn how to type about, and let's copy that. Boom. All right, highlight, run it as a command. Should give us a please write an article about how. Okay. All right, we're gonna cut that out of there. We're gonna put it over here in the article brief. We're gonna do the same thing over here in Frase. When we hit right for me, you just drop it here in the background context. I usually like to shorten this up a little bit. Let's make it about 80. Let's crank up the creativity to about 3. Okay, so let's check out the templates. Let's see what we got here in Frase. All the new stuff. Templates. Ooh. Yeah, last time I did a video, last time I checked out Frase, there was like a drop down up here, and I think there was like 3 templates. Wasn't much. So blog introduction, that's cool. It's probably what I need because I don't have anything here right now. Bullet point to answers. Okay, that's cool. Conclusion. Ooh. Conclusion bullets can be interesting because one of the ways that I think AI might actually be able to do conclusions really well is if it can summarize the content into bullets, and then you can use those bullets to kind of flesh out a paragraph or two to be your closing to the article. Explain why. Neat. Feature. I like how they have some templates here that are kind of like define something, explain why. They're like action-oriented templates, you know, instead of like a end goal kind of product that you see in most of the tools like Jarvis or Copy AI and stuff. Paragraph compression. All right. You know, and if you're used to the other tools and you see templates like paragraph compression and paragraph rewriter and stuff like that, and it's templates in Frase, but it's like a menu pick or something in another tool. Just realize that in the background of those other tools and stuff, they're really kind of doing the same thing. They're kind of just running the content that you want changed through a sort of template anyways. And so, you know, you're going to get the same results. Well, different results because Frase uses its own AI, but the end result is the same whether you're using a template or like a menu pick or something like you get from other tools. Pros and cons list. Okay, cool. Questions. I really like questions. Questions can be interesting because you can use it for things like an FAQ page or even outlines sometimes. Okay, talk tracks. I'm guessing that's sort of like maybe like an interview looking kind of thing. Pretty neat. Okay, well let's metaphor analogy. I skipped that. Let's start with the introduction here. Let's see. We'll just make the prompt how to pick the perfect computer. Just copy and paste that in there. Put the creativity up a little bit. Make sure my cursor is over there. Right. Let's see if we get a decent introduction. Actually, let's see if write an introduction for, and let's let Shortly do the same thing. All right, if you want to get the most out of your computer, you need to pick the perfect one. The right computer can make your life easier, improve your productivity, and save you money. Awesome. But picking the right computer can be tricky. There are so many different types of computers on the market today, each with their own unique features. It can be hard to choose between them. In this article, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to find the perfect computer for you. Nice start. I think that's pretty good. I've had the privilege of working as a consultant with some of the largest technologies, and I must build high-end PCs for more than 10,000. So when people ask me how to pick the perfect computer to suit their needs, I tell them there's no such thing. Interesting. I like how it's a different take. I'm not sure that that's exactly how I'd want to start this article. So let's see if we can just get Shortly to redo that one. Okay. So here's where I want to show you something that kind of would most likely be quite different between these tools. Let's see if we let's just say that this is going to be the introduction that we want to use. I know this sounds like an obvious article. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's just say that this is what we got going on in Shortly now. It matches what's going on in Frase, and we say write an outline for the above. And while that's running, we'll go over into Frase, and we're going to use Phrase's smart lists outline for the above. See what we get. What is it? How much will it cost? Will it work in my environment? Well, that's smart. Is it compatible? Yep. Can I upgrade it? Does it have enough memory? Do I really need more than 4 gigs of RAM? Yeah, you do. Let's just change that. Am I getting what I pay for? Are they reliable? And should I buy refurbished? Okay. That's actually not bad tips. What's the difference between buying a desktop and a laptop? How do you pick the right laptop? What kind of processor was the RAM? Okay. Let's let Shortly continue this with a write for me. And then go back over here. All right. So main difference between laptop. Okay, so it looks like it wants to kind of really just sort of jump into it. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's compare. So what I'm trying to get at is maybe not for this particular article. That I guess we could do the same thing, right? And outline for the above. Oops. Highlight it. Run it. And we can get it to get more. Types of computers, choosing a computer, buying a laptop versus factors to consider when buying a laptop. Okay. Now, in theory, it's supposed to keep the pattern going. Sometimes these AIs don't. But I never really understood why these AI systems sometimes put breaks in there and sometimes don't, but all right, done with that. And all right, so obviously this would be like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, whatever. So what I'm trying to do here though is, since one of these tools, Shortly, is based off of GPT-3 and Frase is based off of its own, chances are that we're going to get different things between each tool. And while some of these are going to be good and some of these are going to be not so good for what we want, same thing is going to be true over here. Some of these are going to be good and some of these are going to be not so good for what we want usually. And we could end up in a situation where, for whatever reason, whatever your topic is, your niche, and whenever you try and get that outline from it, it just won't do it. It gives you mostly not usable stuff. It's possible. It just kind of depends on what it is that you want, what you're writing for, who your reader is, and the results that you're getting back from the AI. And sometimes you're just kind of stuck. If you haven't experienced that, then lucky you. But it happens quite often, where you might get in a situation where it just kind of always says the same thing over and over. You can't quite get anything different. The nice thing in Frase is that you do have the ability to crank this creativity. So play around with that when you're in a situation where it's not quite giving you what you want, and think about context. Now, if you're inside of a template, the context is basically whatever you write into your prompt. But if you're over here and you're like just using write for me, everything above your cursor is going to be included. So if there's a pattern that it's catching on to, just pay attention, right? Like sometimes it's what you want. Like right now we're doing a list 1 through 10. But if I just hit down, hit number 11 space and hit write for me, it should add something number 11, maybe even do a 12, 13, something like that. In theory, it should keep up with the pattern. Is it writing for me? It's not writing for me. Oops. I guess make sure your cursor's there, hit this, and then hit this. Okay. Maybe if I'm in template mode, it won't let me write for me. I'm not sure. Maybe I just didn't do it right. All right. See, it kind of just follows that pattern. And sometimes that's what you want. And sometimes you're like, man, I don't really want, I want to get it out of that pattern. You need to use your creativity sometimes. Like maybe now that you have these things, you don't need the numbers, right? If you're in a situation where you don't want it to be a numbered list anymore, you might just go and remove all those numbers. Or if you're in a situation where you kind of want to put some content in the middle somewhere, maybe you could do something like this, cut that off. What about warranty? And maybe say something like warranty is an important part of your decision. And we'll just leave it at that. The AI should have enough to kind of pick up on that. Maybe it says decision, yep, when buying a new PC, it's not covered by the manufacturer. So what I did was I broke the context there so it can't go above that anymore. So it doesn't see the pattern, right? It just sees number 12 and what about warranty? You might even change that to an H2 or an H3 or something. And so now you have a section started within the middle of your outline. And if you're in a situation where this isn't coming out how you like, and you've got both Shortly and Phrase, you could also jump over into Shortly and kind of do the same things over here to get pieces of content that you want to put back over into Phrase. Like maybe you would use Phrase as kind of your main editor where you want your end result, your draft to end up, so that you can also use the cool AI, the AI research that's in here and also the topic scores and things like that to up the SEO game on the article. So let's see what else we got inside of the templates though. Because, see, we got a lot of questions here. Why, where, let's see. What, let's see, who would kind of explain why. And I thought there was another one. Explain why. I thought there was another answer one. I guess not. Unless I'm just blind. Let's see. I guess definition was what I was thinking. So explain why. Do we have any why questions in here? No. Maybe let's just see, why would I regret buying it later? And let's just see what this questions thing can do for us here. Explain why. Let's paste this in. Come on. There we go. Do a little creativity up. Let's see what we get. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. In a sense, it kind of gave us a like an outline within our section, huh? So we could basically use this and expand upon. You may not be able to sell it for what you paid for it. You might say the certain parts over time won't be as valuable as upgrades. And let's just see what the AI wants to add for us here. Oh, so he's following the pattern here. Wow. Okay. It's actually giving us a pretty decent amount of extra, but let's just not do that. So let's take this number off, and certain parts will be as upgrades, and let's put this back to here. Let's let the AI take over again. Yeah, just the pattern is probably going to catch in again because I don't have anything blocking it really. Oh, Oh, see, number 15. See, jump to a pattern eventually. I'm going to delete that. We've already got a 15 down here technically. And one thing that can be kind of interesting, you go over to Shortly here, paste this in here, do something like this, write a summary of the above in a nutshell. Let's just see if Shortly can handle that, because it has the ability to take sort of natural language requests. And yeah, okay. You know, we copy that little piece out, we come back over here, add it. We can go like because. If you don't end up using it, you're wasting money. Let's use a transition here. Let's say whereas, and let's see what the AI comes up with. You see how it's writing up there? That's not Phrase's fault. That's, wow, come on. It just went a little crazy, didn't it? Yeah, up. See, here's a problem I have with this browser setup, is it's with this pop-up menu. When I click on things, since I'm like in certain places with the here, when I click, it's like it clicks through the menu and gets stuck there. That's something with my computer. With my M1 Mac Mini, with Safari, I don't know if it's the Apple Magic Mouse, whatever, something with my setup here does this. Other people say that they have no problems, but other people with Mac Minis, with the M1 Mac Minis and Safari like this, they say that they do. Oops, where did I don't want to leave all that. They said that they do have problems as well. I don't know if it's the same problems, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm just going to stop there for that one, because you can see that there's like some content mixed up in there now, and that's pretty annoying. Next time I do a video, I'll do it from the Brave browser instead. Then I won't have that same issue. Let's see what other templates we have. I do kind of like that answer one though, because it did create some really nice, like an outline, like an outline within an outline, right? So we got introductions, before, after, bridges, explain why is good, feature benefit. Wonder, can I use feature benefits somewhere? Here, let's use it here. And what are the benefits? Well, that's not what feature benefits for, is it? It's to turn a feature. So more RAM means more let's just say more power for your computer. Giving apps room to breathe and load, and improves the performance overall. There's probably something better that you could do there, but let's just go with that. Like I said, I'm winging it, trying to make it a little bit quick, because I don't want this thing to be like a 2-hour video or something. You know, I guess you could consider this options. You don't have to use them all. Smoother graphics, easier multitasking. Yeah. At the very least, these could be inspiration for things to put in this section of the content, right? I like how it comes out as is that a real bullet list, or is that nah, it's just like mid dots. I wonder if someday that Frase will actually be able to tie these into the actual like real formatting. Like when it pops out a list, it's a real list like this. Maybe, we'll see. I know that would be a little bit weird for the AI to do, so probably something that might be a little bit difficult, but you know, it would be a nice thing to have on the wish list, right? So it just kind of just comes out formatted and everything. Be neat. Let's see what else we got. I love these templates, man. And they're actually working pretty well. It's pretty nice. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's go back. I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's put this down here. There's a template I just saw. What the heck is going on? Why is this thing highlighted? Okay. And bullet points to answers. Let's just drop these in there. Let's see what we get. Yeah, it doesn't know what to do with it, huh? Yeah, I didn't think so. Wait a minute. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Bullet point to answers. Turn a question into a... okay, okay. A little different than what I thought it was. I thought it meant it was going to take a bunch of bullet points and answer them or something, you know, sort of. All right, let's see what we get. Let's put our question in there. Let's take this out. Right. I guess I should have known better. I should have looked, because there. I imagine if I click this, it's going to show me something. But I'm not going to do anything until this is done. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's click this here. Yep. Okay, okay. Okay, so if you're looking through the phrase templates, you don't know what to expect from them, there is a little bit of output examples right here that can kind of help you with that. That's good. That's good. Very nice phrase. Well played, phrase. Well played. All right. So, I mean, I think you can kind of see that this article can be done pretty quickly. And here's an interesting thing too is maybe you can grab a couple of these. Let's go over to Shortly and see what we can get out of it. We're a little bit. Let's put this question in there too. And you don't need more than 16 gigs of RAM. Let's put this up a line. Let's do this and just hit right for me. See what we get. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's awesome. You know, if you have a lot of games and you want to upgrade your RAM, yes. If you have a computer that's older, you might want to upgrade the RAM. Because, you know, if you're not using the computer for something crazy and just a little bit more RAM will make it feel a little smoother, that you could do that. If you're someone who likes to video edit on your computer and you need a lot of RAM, yep, very much so. So it's all good sound advice. Let's see what we get if we just do something with Write for Me inside of Frase here. Uh-oh. All right, let's take that away. So this is another example where maybe sometimes it would be good to have both tools. Let's just go ahead and get to the Write for Me section here. Let's lower this down. Let's make it a little bit less creative. And let's put that there, Write for Me. I do like the level of control that you get. No, well, it's still not cooperating. All right, let's try again. Take that away. Let's put a break here. Let's shorten the context down a little bit. Let's make it a little bit more creative now. We'll leave this in about there. That's fine. Make sure our cursor's there. Right. Also, Frase has a stop button, so if it starts going like off and going crazy and going too long, you can hit that stop button. It's pretty nice. All right, so Frase is not cooperating. So we can go over here. We can use Shortly now, and we can just take these things that we got from Shortly, put them over here into, and it doesn't really break the same way like the paragraph breaks, but you know, it doesn't really matter. All right, so now we have some decent content that we would probably turn into paragraphs for this particular use, of course, but they would be good things to kind of be like notes that you would be, maybe this is what I need to include in this section here. All right, let's go back to templates again. Let's see what else we have. And what kind of want, I guess I'm kind of turning this into a, you know, explore the templates kind of thing. So listicle ideas. Okay, that's kind of interesting. This is probably more of a situation where you're trying to get ideas for an article. So let's just go ahead and go down to the end of this. Let's just pretend we're not in this article anymore. We're going to be doing something different. And let's just see what we get from listicle ideas. And listicle ideas for buying a computer. I'll leave it on 1 for now. And actually, I'm going to go here to Shortly. Let's just take all this out. And, well, this is fine. We'll say, give me some listicle ideas for buying a computer. I'm going to hold down Shift when I run the command this time just to leave the command there. How to buy a computer, buying a laptop. That's not really a listicle, is it? Come on, Frase. What do we get from Shortly? How to buy a laptop, 5 tips, 20 of the best laptop brands, 2019. Of course, you'd probably just sort of, tweak that a little bit. Actually, we're getting towards the end of 2021, right? You could just tweak that a little bit more. Buying a computer revisited, 10 things to consider. Look at that. These are some really good options, actually. So this would be one of the reasons why I think it's smart to have both of these. The GPT-3, AI can sometimes come up with a more interesting option for you than Phrases does. Now, Phrases, of course, is going to get stronger over time too. This is an alpha, so let's see if we can crank up the creativity here a little bit and get something a little different from it, because those weren't really listicle ideas. Those are more like just headlines. It's a little better. Yeah. Everything likes to start with buying, doesn't it? It's like it's buying a computer, so now it's buying. Which I guess if you're in the SEO world, that kind of thing, it's probably the right way to go about it. Let's see what the example output says. Okay. Yep. Pretty. I mean, it's workable, right? You can use this, and if you wanted to, let's just bring it over into Shortly. And you were starting a document to just be a full list of your stuff. You've got this nice long list of potential listicles for you to work on. Go through here and prune the ones that you want and don't want, of course. So that's pretty neat. Okay, let's take that away. Let's see what else we got in the templates. Blog introduction, definition. Definition sounds kind of interesting. So can I just say something like a word? Like, I don't know, define paragraph. It's just something kind of, I don't know. What's the example output? Okay. Nice. All right. That's cool. How about sushi? Come on, let's go. Oops. Let's do sushi. What do we get from that? I don't know what just happened there. Did I accidentally have my cursor in the wrong place? Do that again. My cursor is definitely there. Right. Sushi in Japan is not usually wrapped in seaweed, but eaten as an appetizer, main dish, side dish, or dessert. I'm not sure that you would consider sushi dessert, but it actually is doing a pretty decent job of defining that. I'm curious to see what happens when you crank this creativity up. Like, what's it gonna do? I've said this in a lot of videos. Creativity basically gives the AI a little bit more freedom to kind of loosely associate words that it maybe wouldn't have if it's less creative. Let's just see what happens. It's not very creative, but it's right for the most part. It's a little weird because, seasoned with vinegar and stuff like that. The fish really usually isn't, but the rice is. But so, yeah. Anyway, it's a pretty decent start to a definition. Like how crazy can it go? I guess not really crazy, but like, is it just able to define everything with an engine? Okay, got a little creative there, didn't it? One more time, just to see. That uses pedals. See, that's better. Cool. All right. All right. It's a little faster too, isn't it? To get to the result than the Frase AI. The Frase AI is just a little slower, but not terrible. It's workable. Um, well, I mean, I would say that templates seem to be something that add a really nice capability to Frase for sure. I like how they have a bunch of different variety of types, and they're not really like all associated to one type of thing, like all copywriting things or all like utilities. You've got a mixture of things. Taglines for a given topic. Let's see what we can get from that. Would it be taglines for a topic? Let's see. AI. Well, here, let's just try this. Taglines. AI Content Dojo is a website helping people learn how to use AI writing tools to create better content faster. Right. Build a better story, write like a pro, learn how to write like a pro. No. Let's try again. We want a little bit better than that. Let's be a little bit more creative. Try again. A little bit way less creative. Let's see what happens. AI writing toolbox. I suppose there's only so much you can do with something like this, but I guess it's it gives you a chance to see different things and see how maybe you can learn how to write better faster. Okay, all right. Enough for now. I do want to see what happens. Let's take away these bicycles and all that kind of stuff, and take away that. Now that we're here, we don't really have a full article, but let's assume that we did. We've got all kinds of content, and let's see what that other template. There's like a conclusion bullets template. I feel like, enter your article. Like, oh, okay. So I guess I copy this. Wow, I got a lot of space down here. All right, let's copy this, make sure that there is a line, and then paste the whole article in here, I guess. All right, let's see what happens. Right. I wonder how it does that if it has like a really, really long article. Conclusion bullets. That's not. Okay. Okay, I'm assuming that in this example that this stuff here at the top was the prompt, which is pretty long, and this should have been what the results would have been. Something with dashes and stuff. Okay, didn't do that, so let's try again. Let's hide that. What do we got in here? Is it because everything's so... All right, well, let's just try. If we just cram it all together like the example looked like. Why is it getting over there? It's weird, isn't it? That could be a bit of a problem. Somebody could accidentally delete their stuff in their editor. All right. Do we need this? All right, we've got our block of content. Let's make it a little bit more creative. Let's go back to down here to the end. And right. Okay, that didn't do anything. Crank it up a little bit. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe that template just needs some more work. I'll let the Frase team know about that. Let's just see if maybe our good friend Shortly can help us with this. It's probably not going to be able to because it's already kind of like this really long, awkward. Yeah, let's just see though. Right, some bullets for the above. We'll start with bullets, see if we can get some bullets out of it, and then and shortly the triple slashes are what cut off context. Write a conclusion based on the bullets above. Now I held down the shift key, so I should keep the command there. No, it's continuing. Don't continue. Yeah, like I've said in other videos and stuff, the conclusion always seems to be the hardest thing for the AI to complete. Part of it is probably because the context, it can only go back so far, back into your article, so it's not going to be able to just see all that stuff and kind of pull it all together into a conclusion. But you can say other things. You can try. You can say something like, write a summary of the above in a nutshell. And we'll just see if the AI can give us a little something. No. It's kind of talking about a whole different thing, isn't it? Write a summary of the above, for the above. No, of the above is the right way to say that. One more try. See, okay. This is something that you kind of get from GPT-3 a little bit too often. The toxic filter for this, really? I don't understand it. So I don't know what kind of word it was going to try to use here that would have been considered toxic. And that's one of the reasons why if you're a Shortly user or a Jarvis user or any other tools that are out there, really, they all use GPT-3. If you're a user of those tools and you're looking for a way to get some content and it just keeps blocking you, if you become a user of Frase, you have the ability to use their AI, and their AI doesn't have the same limitations. And so it's another one of the selling points of why you might want a tool of each. So in today's day and age, that really means getting Frase and getting Shortly is what I would recommend. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and stop this video here. It was just me rambling, kind of exploring a little bit, showing why you might want to use two different AI tools together, and also taking a look at some of these cool templates. I think they're off to a pretty darn good start. The templates have some power. I like how they can give you the ability to kind of create some focused content where you want it. And of course, for a total review of like an overflow or a workflow, a workflow of what you might be trying to accomplish, start with your research. Make sure you really know your topic well. That way, if the AI writes something that doesn't quite, jive with what you're trying to create, or is just flat out wrong, you'll recognize it right away and be able to fix it before the AI makes that same mistake throughout your article. After you're really good on your research and you started writing, make sure that you always have your reader in mind, because you always want to make sure that you're making that connection. Your reader might be somebody who lives off in a rural area, doesn't need a lot of power for their computer. They just want to be able to surf the web, do email or something. They're not really into gaming. They've got a busy life. They're farmers or something, And if that's your target audience, then you need to make sure that you're speaking their lingo and you're using their jargon that they would normally use in their day-to-day life. Things like that. Make that kind of personal connection with them. That's going to be a really important thing going forward as these AI tools kind of bring more writers in who aren't necessarily really caring too much about the reader. The next level, the way that you do better than them, is by paying more attention and making that connection for the reader. After you've done a bunch of your writing, you've made all the connections and stuff, of course, then edit. Make sure you check facts and statistics and all those other things that are in there that the AI might have come up with. Make sure that they're true. Of course, fix the grammar and punctuation and stuff. Make sure that the sound of the article, the style of the article matches what you normally write as a writer. That at the end of the day, this article is yours that you're writing, but you have a reader to serve. So make sure that you're doing that. And then you can use Frase to, hit this topic score. Make sure you're using a lot of these words and stuff into your content to bring this topic score up. That's essentially what you would do for your SEO optimization. Then after that's done, take it into your website, publish it, and then promote it, share it in places and stuff like that. That'd be like a pretty decent workflow for getting your articles out there pretty quickly. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you don't have Frase when you sign up, if you're going to sign up and you want it, I do have a discount code that the Frase team has given me. This is the only place that you can get a discount code right now. If you use the discount code Dojo Discount, and it is all lowercase, then you'll get 25% off the first 3 months of your subscription. Pretty decent savings. If you don't have Shortly, if you do want Shortly, when you're there subscribing, I do also have a discount code for them. And again, this is the only place to get the discount code. Discount code Dojo will get you 35% off forever for Shortly. And that is, it can be applied to the monthly plan or the annual plan, either one. And if you found this helpful, this video, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, but also comment any questions you might have. And if you're not in the AI Content Dojo Facebook group yet, check it out. It's where I share these videos and we talk about things and I answer questions and stuff there. So until next time, take care.